plenty of great moments to remember. Spectacular defensive plays, brilliant game-winning performances on the mound, and more few comebacks, including 12 walk-offs, most in the league. One more chance to interfere with the race for the playoffs. Up next on Masson.
Washington Nationals baseball. Washington Nationals baseball.
We're going to do this for the 80th and final time this year. The Nats at home. The Braves are here, leading 9-8 in the season series. But Ian Desmond's popularity knows no bounds with our young fans. And he has led the Nats, along with some other guys, to 11 wins in the last 14 ball games. Bob Carpenter with you, FP along in a moment. For those of you at home, thanks for being with us today. And for those of you at home who've been to the ballpark, thanks for helping the Nats wrap up a really, really nice home season. Most wins in home history with 43, either RFK or here at Nationals Park. The dozen walk-offs have been a lot of fun. 30-6 when scoring the first runs. So, FP, it's been a fun season at home. A lot of dramatic moments, a few frustrations here and there. That happens during a long season. But it's been a real positive atmosphere here this year.
Yeah, when you talk about changing the culture, I think one of the first things you need to do is establish your home turf, and the Nationals have done that. I mean, they've hit a lot of home runs here. 81 home runs here, 69 on the road, a 251 average at home this year. So they've established that. When you talk about what do you need to do for next year, well, you got to play better on the road, and I think right now they've won their last 8 games on the road, so they're learning how to win on the road, too.
Yeah, taking care of that problem. Now, Ross Detwiler, one of those guys who helped the Nats win a couple of those 8 games, brilliant in Philadelphia his last time out.
Yeah, and I think with Ross, it all depends on the fastball into right-handers. He slowed down his delivery, very smooth, and he got stronger as the game went on last time, so we expect the same out of Ross today.
So from Tuesday night to Sunday afternoon, Philly to Washington, we'll see how he does. Wilson Ramos in this series, 2 for 4, a couple of RBIs. He has been hitting line drives all over the place. And, of course, Danny Espinosa, 2 big RBIs yesterday. He's 3 for 6 in the series. Great building blocks, and don't forget young Mr. Marrero. A great first 3 weeks in the big leagues. The ultimate driving machine. And by Verizon Fios. Fios, a network ahead. To learn more, visit Verizon.com/getFios. From the Navy Yard station right down Half Street Right out of the Nationals dugout, here they come, 43-36 at home. Wouldn't it be nice to grab number 44 and number 78 overall? Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Quite muggy, I mean quite muggy, 82%. 75 degrees at game time, and the Atlanta Braves have a 2-game lead in the wild card race. Freddie Freeman bumped up to the number 5 spot today, even though the Nats are throwing a lefty. They have Jason Hayward on the bench, and a pretty good first 5 batters for the Braves, probably as good as anybody in baseball when these guys are on the same page. But the Braves have been struggling, and they are trying to survive 5, well, maybe 4 more games to get into that wild card. Ross Detwiler, 3rd career start against Atlanta. 6th career appearance, no record, so he'll try to beat ATL for the first time.
Yeah, and last time out against the Phils, he was fantastic. Game 2 of the doubleheader, he worked 7 of the 3rd scoreless innings. He scattered just 3 hits, all singles, struck out 3 and walked 1. So fastball curve change for the Missouri State alumni, who will have a lot of people in St. Louis watching this start today.
Yeah, Ross and his family from the St. Louis area, place called West County. And they will get underway shortly against the Cubs. Michael Bourn steps in. First pitch, 1:36 p.m. and it's a strike.
94 right out of bed.
Bourn in the series, 2 for 8, a walk, 2 runs scored, and a very costly caught stealing yesterday. He has swiped a couple of bases and has 58 on the year. That's pretty good too. Outer half, no balls, 2 strikes. Detwiler career record of 5-14, making his 29th major league start.
He came in the clubhouse after yesterday's game, checked his cell phone. He had over 30 text messages from people back in St. Louis saying, "You got to get this done for us tomorrow." And he was excited.
Bourn hitting .280 in 49 games for Atlanta. Front door breaking ball just inside.
That was a good pitch. Let's check out the first curveball from Ross Detwiler today, and I thought it was a strike. Let's see what Pitch Track has to say. Bam.
Yeah, could have been called strike 3. Marty Foster has the plate. He is a 13-year veteran. This is a very senior crew assigned to this important series. Bill Welke first base, Jeff Nelson second, and Tim Cheetah, after taking one flush off the mask yesterday, able to be over there at third base. He's the crew chief. And Bourn bumps another one out of play.
Sitting at 94, 95. Usually it takes Ross Detwiler about an inning or so to build up to 94, 95. Last time out against the Phillies, he was saving that for 2 strikes. So you see the adrenaline early in this game. Realizing the implication of this baseball game, he is going to the good fastball early.
And Bourn making some contact here to stay alive. On base percentage of .349. He will swing and miss at a fastball diving down and in at 94.
Now check him out his last start in Philadelphia. I thought probably his best start of the year, and arguably his best start as a major leaguer. That fastball was crisp. It was in and out and up and down. Changeup was good. And what he did so well, I thought, is he made the Phillies hitters aware of the fastball in, and it got to the changeup. But he did it all. Base hit, RBI. So building off that start, he only had 3 strikeouts in that start, and he starts out with 1 here today.
Only walked 1 in Philly. No runs on 3 hits, 7 and a 30. He had a couple of double play balls. And he hit a batter, and that was okay because he was backing people off the plate. Martin PRADO is 1 for 9 in this series. Wong and company ended his 10-game hitting streak yesterday. The Nats start the day, and this may be the surprise number of the year for a lot of us. 3.62, this team ERA, number 7 in the National League. And of course the bullpen ERA considerably lower than that. It's been a year featuring constant pitching on the good side of the ledger almost from opening day right up to this point. 1 and 2. Good off speed, 86. Tried the same pitch.
Well, if you're going to miss with a changeup, that's a good place to miss, down in the zone.
Very close, ball 3, another long count.
Another long count, but he's not missing by much.
Detwiler throws a strike. It's into center right there. JAYSON WERTH, 2 outs.
Let's hit the defense for the Nationals today. Last time here at home behind Ross Detwiler. Morse, Worth, and Gomes in the outfield. Desmond and Zimmerman on the left side. Espinosa, MARRERO on the right side. And Wilson Ramos back in the slot today after Pudge did a fantastic job yesterday. Threw out Michael BOURN, got himself a base hit.
Ryan Zimmerman spearheading a defense that's been much better as a team this year. Last couple of years, Nats have been down around the bottom of the league in team defense, and thanks to the pitching, the defense has been better. Johnny Gomes right there for that drive by Chipper Jones. And now the Nats go to work against lefty Mike Minor. Of their last 14. Ian Desmond back in that leadoff spot. Wilson Ramos, look what he's hitting over his last 23 games. And he's 2-2 career against Mike Minor. Having a wonderful finish to his rookie season like Espinosa is, like Chris MARRERO is, even though MARRERO's only been up for a couple of weeks. But the Nats are playing some exciting baseball these days, and they can be free and easy. All the pressure's on the Braves here, including their 23-year-old left-hander, Mike Minor.
Last time out wasn't good. He allowed a career-high 3 home runs at Florida on Monday. He got the no decision after 5 2/3 innings. He allowed 4 runs on 6 hits. He struck out 6 and walked 2 through 90 pitches.
Hasn't faced the Nats this year, but 2 career starts. Desmond goes down the line. That's extra bases. Heading for the bullpen, Ian Desmond with a leadoff double. He's 3 for 10 in this series.
So that's how this one starts offensively for the Nats. Ian Desmond going first pitch hunting right here. Gets a fastball right out over the plate. Ready to hit, ready to play. Smokes it down the corner.
And it's always interesting with a guy like JAYSON WERTH batting second. Not your prototypical move the ball around, hit ground balls to move guys over type hitter. But he'll be trying to stay on the thing. And if he can't drive Desmond in, he wants to move him over. But he'll be taking a shot at RBI number 59 here. And JAYSON's had a good series, on base 4 times, 2 walks, 2 for 6 with a home run.
You saw the fastball from Minor to Desmond, the first pitch to Worth. He's got a curveball, a slider, and a change to go with it. A lot like Detwiler. He'll use that a fastball to establish inside and then go to the changeup. Throws the change a lot.
Worth to take it, and it hits the inside corner. Quickly 0-2. Braves outfield plays Worth slightly to the right. Bourne's about 2 cuts of the grass off center toward right center.
Pretty good pick right here by David Ross on a short hop slider, keeping Ian Desmond at second base.
Wilson is shading up the middle behind Desmond. There's a lot of hitting room through the shortstop hole. He'll retreat a bit. Still a lot of room. Another bouncer way inside. How did it miss Worth, and how did Ross corral that one?
Well, the reason Jack Wilson's holding Ian Desmond on is because Jason Worth is trying to move the runner. Even with 2 strikes, he's trying to fight something over to the right side to advance the runner. But welcome to this game, David Ross. A couple of one-hop seeds off your chest, and that's a pretty good job of staying soft, blocking that ball, and keeping Desmond at second again.
That ball hit the ground before it ever got into our frame of the hitter, the catcher, and the umpire. Worth takes a late swing at it, fouls it back, and the count remains 2-2. Ryan Zimmerman, good series, 3 for 8. He's on deck. Season series, Atlanta 9, Washington 8. Well outside, ball 3.
So it's worked an 0-2 to a 3-2.
Target away. Worth again thinking right field. Extending this at bat.
And this will be the 9th pitch of this at bat.
And Worth on a changeup, not able to reach it. 1 out, and a big one for Atlanta.
Well, let's set the defense for the Braves today behind Mike Minor. PRADO, BOURN, and DIAZ in the outfield. Wilson and Jones on the left side. UGGLA and Freeman on the right side, and David Ross in the squad. And you don't really say his name DIAZ, it's just DIAZ.
DIAZ?
Yeah, he'll be in right field today. Not that much emphasis on the D. But he's the lefty killer.
Yeah, came back to the Braves this year after not too long of a time away. He's always been a very good hitter, 280, 290 range most of his career. Ryan Zimmerman. And as Minor stepped off, Desmond was moving toward third before a quick retreat.
DIAZ is hitting .302 against lefties this season. So that's why they picked him up. That's why they brought him back to Atlanta.
Ryan looking for RBI number 50. Even though he's missed the equivalent of about 60 games this year. Now he's got a good count to work with. They play Zimmerman pretty much the same way they played Worth, with Bourne off center and a big gap in left center. And Ryan's forte, of course, is going up the middle, hitting the ball hard the other way to that gap.
Well, they're pitching him that way. They're setting up away. So pitch him away, play him away.
And that one right down the middle, 2-1. We don't mind seeing them pitch him like that, because when Ryan's locked in, they're pitching to his strength. 99th career game against Atlanta, hitting .281. RBI total, very impressive. That's upstairs, 3-1. There's a beast on deck. He's hitting .302. Michael Moore still in the top 9 in the league in batting average.
Pretty good home numbers right there. 7 home runs, 309.
And he'll take it at the knees. 3-2.
3-1 changeup for Minor.
And I know you always say if you throw it 3-1, why not 3-2? He got Worth on the off speed.
Definitely make you think when you dig in for that 3-2 count as a hitter, but you still have to respect the fastball and Minor. It's a good one. David Ross is having some kind of first inning. I'll tell you what. 2 balls in the dirt that he's blocked with his chest, and now a direct hit on a foul tip.
That was a fastball, 93.
Man. That is a direct hit, and you just hope he's okay.
Three-two again. Nice crowd. Folks still coming in. Final home game of the year. Zimmerman takes a bouncer way out in front. 2 on, 1 out for Michael Morse.
And once again, David Ross blocks another ball.
Nationals, as we mentioned, 11 of 14. They had that recent winning streak, and they've won 8 in a row on the road. The Braves are having their worst month, their worst September. Look at that. In over 20 years, Ryan Zimmerman, including a moment ago, on base now in 19 consecutive games. Michael Morse is hitting .318 with runners in scoring position. He's also 2 for 4 with an RBI against Minor, and that one's on the inside corner. Right on the edge of 90 RBIs is Michael, with Desmond at second, Zimmerman at first. That one in on his hands, flied to left at the edge of the track. PRADO. Desmond is back to tag. He's going to race that throw to third and make it. And Michael Morse didn't miss much by making this a 3-0 game.
How strong is Michael Morse? He got absolutely jammed on that baseball. He sent PRADO all the way to the wall. Just missed this pitch. You see the bent arm swing right there, the ball down by the label. Great shot, guys, and you see why that ball didn't get out. It takes a strong human being to hit a ball that far off the label.
It'll be up to Chris Marrero, the rookie, with 2 outs. Marrero, 27 big league games, 26 hits, 10 RBIs already.
He's been pretty good in these situations.
Not at all bothered when guys pitch away from him. He's been using the ballpark on that right side. Had an RBI hit up the middle early yesterday to put the Nats on top in the 2nd inning. And batting up in the number 5 hole today. Desmond way down the line at third.
We know what he's doing right there. As a speed guy with 2 outs on third base, you start to creep down the line. And if Mike Minor decides to do a nice long pickoff throw over to first base for Ryan Zimmerman, you just keep rolling right to the plate. So it's one of those things where instead of just standing around, do something. Try to time the move to first, and you can steal home.
"22 pitches already for Mike Minor, first inning. And Marrero takes it just off the plate, ball 3.
And he is seeing the ball big. And we talked about yesterday, his days as a minor league are over. And I think when you see a guy like this hitting fifth all of a sudden, that just goes to show you what Davey Johnson's thinking about him.
Marrero on a 3-1 pitch, skies it to right center for Michael BOURN. Nats will strand a couple. They force Minor to work a long time to get those 3 outs. No score. Score early, and it's time to renew your season tickets for next year. Benefits include the red carpet rewards, the Grand Slam easy payment plan, and the Curly W renewal gift. Stop by nationals.com/renew. Some restrictions do apply, and all of this is while the supplies last. Ross Detwiler, 14 pitches, 9 strikes in a 1-2-3 first inning. Dan UGGLA, the Braves' most dangerous looking hitter this weekend, leads off. He's 4 for 8 with a couple of RBIs and a walk in this series. Oh for 2 against Ross Detwiler, career. And I was just thinking what would be his updated numbers in this ballpark. 34 games, 31 RBIs. Amazing.
And when he was in the middle of that 33-game hitting streak, we saw him a couple of times, and what he was doing so well is he was going the other way. When you think of Dan UGGLA, you think of the power numbers, a dead pull hitter. But how do you get your average up from 173 to 235 with so many at-bats? You use the whole field. But to me in this series, even though he's had some success, he looks like he's back to pull mode, where he's trying to get some big hits for his ball club to propel them into the playoffs. Look at the numbers right there after the All-Star break. Just ridiculous. 20 home runs, a 300 average, and almost 50 RBIs.
149 strikeouts on the year. That'll be up and away. He struck out 149 times last year.
And that was no little streak. You can go through a 33-game hitting streak. Obviously, the number is big, but you go 1 for 4, 1 for 4, 1 for 3. He had 377, 49 for 130 with 15 home runs.
Great breaking ball by Detwiler in the dirt for the strikeout. Ramos throws UGGLA out. Second K of the day for the lefty.
And see, that's what I'm talking about, pull mode. Detwiler making UGGLA aware of the fastball and then pulls the string with a nice curveball right here, 79 miles an hour in the dirt. And if you're thinking the other way, you don't even offer it that pitch.
And Ramos goes backstop to corral that one. Freddie Freeman will be next. And Detwiler so far hitting his spots.
And when he's aggressive and he just attacks the strike zone, I think you're seeing why the Nationals took this guy #1. All of a sudden, he's matured to a whole new level. And I think the biggest difference has been how he slowed his delivery down. We talked about it last time in Philadelphia. You know, he does that frontward stride with his right foot, and then he just pauses right there, gathers himself so he's not jumping out at the hitter too soon. I think some of the battles Ross has had this year, talking to Steve McCatty, is that, you know, just kind of rolling through his delivery to where he gets out in front. The arm trails, and now the fastball's up and away to righties. But by gathering himself in the middle of his delivery, now, you know, he's more centered. He stays on his backside right here, and then you can stride out toward the hitter, and you get the ball down in the zone.
That's a routine fly ball to left for Michael Morse. And, of course, with all this ease of motion and delivery up, he hasn't given up a single thing as far as velocity. He's throwing the ball as hard as he ever did.
Well, the velocity actually went up. When you get ahead of yourself as a pitcher and you're too quick and you're jumping out and flying open, I think there was a couple of starts, maybe the one against the Mets that Ross would like to forget, 3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs. He's probably pumped that I just mentioned it right now in the air, but he was getting out in front in that start, and his arm was dragging. So the velocity was actually down 88 to 90 in that start. You see, when he gets everything underneath, it's got good command of his curveball, good velocity on his fastball. Just a different pitcher all the way around.
Matt Diaz now. 301 since coming back to Atlanta. Pirates signed him as a free agent last December. He had 259 in 100 games there. But his career batting average just a little bit under 300 now. It was 301 at the start of the year. Played in a couple of College World Series at Florida State for Mike Martin. And a swing and a foul tip, and the count's even 2-2.
And we saw a lot of that from the Phillies hitters last start. Hitting counts, they get a fastball, and it's a strike, and they're late on it. I'll tell you that he's got a good one going.
Swing and miss and swing and tip stuff today for Detwiler. Target in on 2-2. And there's strikeout number 3. 6 in a row for Detwiler to start the game. Danny Espinosa, followed by Johnny Gomes and Wilson Ramos. Pitching off to a good start. Braves and the Nats. Shop Smart, Shop Luna, 877-241 Luna, 70% off all flooring. And let's compare UGGLA in 06, wearing a Marlins uniform back at that time, and Danny Espinosa here. So FP, pretty impressive. Danny, I know, has talked to you about making some 2 strike adjustments for next year.
Yeah, he said he's going to try to cut down on the strikeouts, talking about his hamate surgery and how he's not even a year or so out of that to where he's had a weaker right hand. And once that gets strong again, he's going to be able left-handed to put the ball in play more. But you start comparing Danny Espinosa's rookie campaign with a lot of guys that are making a lot of money at second base around the league. I would say, needless to say, future bright for that guy right there.
Bottom of the second underway. Danny's had a good series, 3 for 6, a walk, 2 RBIs. He sits safely in 12 of his last 13, hitting .256 at home, .239 overall.
And .281 right-handed.
The breaking ball by Minor, severe drop on it. Nats made him throw 24 pitches in the first inning. Is that a swing and a miss?
I think he fouled it off.
Okay. Quick signal by Marty Foster. You heard everybody in the dugout wanting him to run in case it was a swing and a miss. But as you've mentioned before, that's a quandary for a hitter. You don't want to always admit you have swung and missed at the ball.
I think the fact that he foul tipped it. Giggs off right there. Foul ball, do it again.
And that one tailing away. Second strikeout by Mike Minor. Well, you look at the last 4 games the Braves and the Cardinals have. Atlanta, even if they go 1-3 and St. Louis goes 3-1, they still tie. Atlanta's magic number, though, still 3. The Giants are out of it now, but very close. And in the American League, if the Red Sox would lose a doubleheader to the Yankees today and the Rays would win their game, they would be tied. And the Angels are still in it, even though they can't chase Texas anymore in their division.
And so it's Edwin Jackson against Randy Wells in St. Louis today.
And by the way, the Red Sox are trailing 4-0 in the 3rd inning of Game 1 at New York. And the Rays at home, 2nd inning lead Toronto 2-1. Tampa Bay is charging. Red Sox are really having a tough time. They've lost 3 straight.
That ship is sinking fast.
Outside 2-1. Johnny Gomes getting a start today. 14 homers, 43 RBIs in the year, and 42 games as an Nat, 12 RBIs and 3 homers. Looks it all the way to the corner, 2-2. Gomes with a shot down the line. That's going to hit right at the .336 mark. And the Nationals have their 2nd extra base hit of the day. To Johnny Gomes as a National, his 4th double, and overall number 12.
Boy, he stayed on the off-speed nice right there. You're thinking maybe this is going to be another fastball away. He tried to backdoor the off-speed. And Johnny Gomes all over it. Staying inside of it to keep it fair. If you come around that ball, it's foul. So nice piece of hitting by Johnny Gomes.
That'll bring in Wilson Ramos, who's been an RBI machine lately. Ramos, 1 start in this series, 2 ribbies Friday. Sitting on 51. Of course, the pitcher is next, so the Braves can be careful here, but there's still only 1 out. So if they're too careful with Ramos, they'll still have to deal with Ian Desmond in this inning.
Plus, if they watched our highlights, they know that Ross Detwiler can hit.
Just thinking that same thing. That's ball 2. Just an early preview of Detwiler's at bat. He does have 3 sacrifice bunts on the year. And a 2-0 out of play right side.
How about the rookie year for the guy standing in the box? 269, 14 home runs, 51 RBI. Done a great job behind the plate all year long, both calling games, throwing guys out.
And he only had 69 big league at bats all of last year. 52 of them with the Nationals after coming over from Minnesota in the Matt Capps deal.
I mean, a lot of years, 269, 14, and 51 will get you some Rookie of the Year votes. And I'm sure he'll get some, but
there's a bumper crop this year, isn't there?
Yes.
Freddie Freeman is in the conversation. 21 homers, 76 RBIs, batting in the mid-280s. And he plays a real nice first base. He's only made 6 errors all year. I remember we were impressed with him in Florida when we saw him picking it in spring training.
I think what a lot of people don't realize, he's got an absolute cannon over there too.
Ramos on a pitch upstairs, can't make contact. Strikeout number 3 for Mike Minor, who has a chance to get out of the inning now against Detwiler. Nationals have been given 1 walk today, and for every one this season, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Washington, D.C. Over $23,000 now on 461 walks. Take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle.
You missed it yesterday. They had a ceremony down in the field with one of those big Happy Gilmore checks, and they had the number wrote on it. And you weren't in the booth. I was trying to find you. I said, hey, how about a little cup for the guy that's been doing the read all year?
Trying to get him behind the runner and Gomes back. Well, as long as they got the numbers right and spelled everything right on the check, that's good enough for us. And there are more walks to come. David Ross has always been a good combination receiver and offensive guy. He can hit. That was a pretty good throw down there, just to keep Gomes honest with 2 outs. Detwiler, and he lines one to the shortstop, Jack Wilson. Ross Detwiler came close to another RBI. And after 2, the Nats and the Braves are scoreless. Washington taking some nice line drive swings. By Hyundai. If it's fuel efficient, affordable, stylish, and safe, it's probably a Hyundai. Probably a little crashing going on out there right now. The playground is busy on a Sunday. Ross Detwiler has been outstanding. Took a great swing a moment ago. 28 pitches, 18 strikes, first 2 innings. He's not giving up runs at all lately.
No, he's been good. A couple of line drive outs in the first inning. But he's got 3 strikeouts. You look at that pitch right there. A fastball by Michael Bourne. And the curveball in the dirt to UGGLA. And a fastball by DIAZ. So fastball's been good. Changeup's been good. Curveball's been good. And what new for Ross Detwiler? And the Nats have been good.
Wow, look at that. Bullpen ERA up just a little bit. Opponent's batting average, fantastic. Hey, the bullpen gets a 2.17 for a couple of weeks, and we consider that not that great. That's how good they've been. They have been astounding this year with all that youth out there. Steve McCaddy's done a wonderful job with the pitching staff, starters, and relievers.
I talked about it in Philadelphia. If you can't get excited about this ball club for next year, I can't help you. And we talked to some Nat fans today, some season ticket holders that were a little bit wary still. And I'm like, what more proof do you need? A lot of young players playing great. The pitching staff has been amazing. With Malone and Peacock and what they've done late in the season, Strasburg healthy. We've watched Espinosa and Desmond grow up this year. Ramos behind the plate. Clippard and Storn at the back end. Zimmerman at third. I mean, the beast, the future next year is unbelievable. We're talking about maybe the hunt for Red October next season.
David Ross leads off for the Braves, top of the third. They're dancing in the streets in Philadelphia. The Phillies just got 2 in the first at New York.
Oh, man.
Lost that doubleheader yesterday.
The Nats threw him into a funk.
Ross will foul one off to the right side. Phillies have lost 8 in a row. Ross, Wilson, and Minor. 7, 8, 9 for Atlanta here in the top of the third. Ross hitting at 255. 289 career starting this season. And a swing and a miss on a good one away. Dodgers, Pirates, Padres, Reds, now Braves for the native of Bainbridge, Georgia, who went to Auburn and Florida as a collegiate. Off speed, a beauty. Evidently a little high. Check it out on the Verizon pitch track.
Pitch track's a high umpire. I bet you he's got this as a strike. Yep.
Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network. 2-2 pitch. Detwiler delivers a strike, and David Ross hits it hard to left. Braves have their first base hit. So they finally do something on one of those 3-2 counts. Every year, each ball club nominates a player for the Roberto Clemente Award, and Ian Desmond is our man this year, a young man of great character. His work with the local youth baseball community, you can vote by October 9th for the chance to win a trip to the World Series. ChevyBaseball.com/Clemente. Vote for a fine young man, Ian Desmond. Already in just 2 years, he's become one of the most sparkling personalities we've ever had on this ball club.
He's a leader. I was told that when I got here. I've seen it firsthand for 6 months now.
He's out hanging out with the kids on the rails, signing almost every day. I had to laugh at him the other day. His sweet wife Chelsea and their little guy already back down in Florida, and he's been scrambling to get his place clean. He said, "You should see me trying to clean my place up."
I think we're all going through that right now.
So Chelsea and Grayson waiting for Daddy to come home. And he's had the mop and the sponges and everything out the last couple of days. I'd love to see that. 2-0 to Jack Wilson. Things getting a little hairy here in the third inning. That's inside, ball 3 with the pitcher coming up. Minor 3 career hits, all of them this year, and 1 sacrifice bunt. That's a strike.
So after facing 6 hitters in the windup, Ross Detwiler goes to the stretch. And sometimes that's a big adjustment. You get very comfy in your delivery. You haven't been tested out of the stretch yet. We'll see if he can establish a strike zone out of the stretch.
Right field doesn't look playable. Runner at first, a catcher in Ross. Jack Wilson, a 3-2 count. Good contact man who doesn't strike out often at all. It's always been part of Jack Wilson's game, is to put the ball in play. Wilson this year only 27 strikeouts with Seattle and 9 since coming over to Atlanta. 3-2 pitch.
Third 3-2 count for Ross Detwiler, first time through the order.
Minor's thrown 40 in 2 frames. And Detwiler only has 6 outs now, as this has been a long start to the third. And Jack Wilson's the kind of guy who can spoil a whole bunch of strikes.
There's 2 ways you can go right here. You can go fastball in and try to tie him up, or if you have confidence to throw that changeup for a strike, that'll definitely work right here for Detwiler if he wants to throw it.
Way outside, 2 on, nobody out.
And that was a changeup, I believe. But he just slipped. It was 90 miles an hour. His change is usually around 86, 87. So I don't know if the slip caused him to throw it harder, but I don't think that was a fastball.
Well, Zimmerman and Marrero will come pinching in from the corners. Ryan Zimmerman right now is bouncing defensive signals over to Desmond and Espinosa and for Marrero to see. So we'll see if the Nats can pull on the wheel play here, unless Minor bunts it right at Ryan. If you're at the ballpark, want to see if the wheel plays on, watch the shortstop. Desmond breaking hard toward third, but the pitch misses. Zimmerman coming right down the left sleeve of the hitter. Marrero from the right side. Watch Desmond. He's off to third.
If I'm Mike Minor, I pull back and Butcher Boy right there. I mean, look at all the holes in the infield. The one thing you have to defend against as a shortstop on the wheel play is not leaving too early. And how do you know when to leave? Well, it's predicated on the speed of the runner at second base. You have to beat him to third. And you see Minor swinging away right there. But, you know, sometimes when you run those plays, the third baseman can get a little bit tight. The shortstop can break too early. And if a pitcher that can handle the bat sees all of that going on, he in essence has the whole infield just to hit a ground ball and get a base hit.
And on that pitch, Desmond was moving to second behind the runner. So now Steve McCatty will visit and talk about control with Ross Detwiler. A lot of elements to this situation. I guess when the count goes to 2-0, you're no longer trying to trick a bunter. You let him make the out, because if you don't and lose him, you have a hitter on deck who's almost impossible to double up.
I just feel like Steve McCatty's out there right now because he saw something in Detwiler's delivery out of the stretch that he doesn't like. And it got to a 3-0 count against Wilson, battled back and lost him on a 3-2 pitch. And now 2-0 to Minor. So out of the stretch, something different from Detwiler.
That's not a strike, and it's 3-0. Handled 6 tough hitters really well. First 2 innings. And the David Ross base hit to get him off that windup has changed everything here. Not even close, and the bases are loaded.
Well, I guess the positive in that is he can go back to the windup.
Yeah, with the bases loaded, no matter how many outs, if you're more comfortable, why not? Looks like he'll go to the stretch position, although Ross does kind of start his windup from a similar spot, but this looks like the stretch. He struck out BOURN first time.
I don't know why he's not going from the windup right now.
Chicago did not score in the top of the first at St. Louis. And Atlanta with a golden opportunity here in the third. Ball 2, and Ross is now missing by plenty on both sides.
Well, you can see in his delivery, he's kind of feeling for it right now. First couple of innings, he was just getting it, throwing it, attacking the strike zone, not thinking about anything. But if you watch the deceleration in his arm after release point right now, kind of feeling for the strike zone.
Russ Detwiler has walked only 6 batters in his last 5 starts coming in. A couple of those starts, no walks at all. So he gets a very important strike to Michael BOURN. Can he get another? Yes, he will. Pop up, left field. Doesn't look deep enough to score a run. And Michael Morse has the foul ball. That is huge for the first out. Long run for Michael. And now it'll be PRADO with 1 down.
Good play by Michael Morse. I was wondering if Michael BOURN was going to offer it a 3-1 pitch. Ross Detwiler all over the place, and you're wondering, is he going to swing right here? You can make the argument that might have been ball 4. Looked like a strike. Definitely not what BOURN and the Braves had in mind. With a good running catch by Michael Morse, and with nobody out, that being the first out, David Ross on third. You're not going to tag.
Martin PRADO, second most double play balls on the Atlanta offense. Craig Stammen warms up for the Nats. Detwiler goes breaking ball and misses. PRADO has hit into 16 double plays this year. In the air, right field. Not at all deep. Johnny Gomes, there's a catcher running. They're going to send him and stop him. 2 outs.
What a throw by Gomes.
And with 2 down, it'll be up to Chipper Jones.
See, we're having fun up here last home game for the Nationals, but what we don't realize, and we realize it, but you know, the Braves are playing for a playoff berth, so these at-bats are huge, and I think by what you've seen in the last couple of at-bats is maybe pressing a little bit, trying to do too much, trying to pick up the ball club, but what a throw by Johnny Gomes.
Yeah, and they're not going to send a catcher with 1 out with Chipper Jones on deck. Now Ramos will go out, but Johnny got rid of the ball quickly, and FP, that's the key to the whole thing because the runner really can't see the angle of the throw. Quick release, that'll freeze him every time.
And these are such crucial at-bats for the Braves.
Chipper lined out hard to Gomes in right field first time up. Bouncing ball, Zimmerman backs up. Second base. Nats are out of the inning.
How about that?
BOURN, PRADO, and Jones unable to get it done when the base is loaded. Frustration high in Atlanta right now.
And how about that last play by Ryan Zimmerman? Ross Detwiler doing his best Houdini act after a single and 2 walks. And when Ryan started to retreat right there, I'm thinking, uh-oh, he's in trouble. Well, that's got error written all over. But watch the eyes on the baseball, looking it right into his glove. And stays soft with the glove, creates that long hop so he can see it into his glove, and a perfect feed to Danny Espinosa to get Ross Detwiler and the Nationals out of a huge jam.
Had a great look at it on the Dodge Grand Caravan Expo. Visit Dodge.com today. Well, that could be a game-changing and in some senses a late season-changing sequence for the Atlanta Braves. Bases loaded, nobody out, top of the order coming up. And Ross Detwiler goes to work. Let's check out Hollywood Casino Charlestown races. Huge TVs, cold beer, all-star eats, great giveaways. The all-new Skybox Sports Bar, your game day headquarters. Since August 19th, Ian Desmond right up there with the best hit men in baseball. Desmond, Worth, and Zimmerman bottom of the third. Now, what do the Nats do with that momentum they grabbed on the defensive side? Desmond has seen 2 pitches now today, doubled on 1, takes that for a strike.
I'll tell you what, partner, I've been on the other side of it where the Braves are right now, and all of a sudden you have bases loaded, nobody out. You don't score a run, and there's guys in that dugout, in that clubhouse right now, listening to this, watching this, saying, uh-oh, this is not a good thing.
St. Louis, by the way, did not score in the bottom of the first, 0-0 with the Cubs early.
And when I say not a good thing, I'm not talking about today. I'm talking about in the big scheme of things, getting to the postseason. Obviously, they have the 2-game lead, and the Cardinals are chasing them, so they're still okay. They got to take care of their own business. But, you know, you get this late in the season, you're looking for good things to happen, not bad things.
Desmond on 0-2. That was a pretty good pitch by Minor, and he's out over to Dan UGGLA. Nats first time through the order, couple of doubles and a walk. Extra base hits by Desmond and Gomes. The walk by Zimmerman, who's due up right after Jason Worth here, bottom of the third. By the way, rumors flying all over the ballpark about what might happen during the president's race today. After yesterday's Donnybrook in the right field corner looked like an NHL preseason game.
I couldn't stop laughing for about 2 innings, and the one thing I forgot to talk about was how the bullpen all put on their BP tops, their sweaters.
Oh, so nobody could see numbers?
You couldn't see their numbers or their names.
They thought of everything.
Those guys are nuts out there, seriously. All of them. Every single one of those guys in the bullpen, nuts.
In a good way, but you have to have a different type of mentality to be a relief pitcher in a pressure-packed life every day at this level. Minor getting ahead of everybody here, and he strikes out Worth. He's finding his touch. In case you missed it, the bullpen yesterday conspiring against everybody but Teddy. Worth puts the stop to George and then Tom. And look at the bullpen piling everybody up, hoping Teddy can get away, but he can't get away from Abe. And then Teddy goes down in the corner. Worth wins the race. He is, after all, from the land of Lincoln, Springfield, Illinois. So I wonder if that one counts for Abe.
And the best shot we had was the Exmo of Jayson Werth giving George a nose job. And he had his claws into his nose and he pulled him down by his nose.
And Jayson was quoted this morning as saying, "I cannot tell a lie. I did chop down Thomas Jefferson."
No, he called
George Washington.
You know what he called it in the paper? A coup attempt.
1 ball, 1 strike. I'm pretty convinced that Jayson Werth thinks that Teddy winning a race is a major step toward baseball next October. Ryan walked his first time. It's a count of 1-2 as Minor continues to get ahead. That is real close, and it's ball 2.
Just a 1-2 fastball in the outer half. Yeah, you called it. Just missed.
On the Verizon pitch track. Minor staying away, and Zimmerman takes it that way. Nationals trying to win their 44th home game. If they win today, they would be within 1 game of 500 against the division, which has never really been in the conversation in recent years. That's a very impressive accomplishment. Zimmerman breaks his bat, and he'll take it for a base hit. Pitch me away, I'll take you that way. He's on for the 2nd time today.
What a great piece of hitting with 2 strikes.
Well, that gets Michael Morse in there.
Just fouled off a fastball. And he got a changeup from Minor. What does he do? Watch, he's out in front, realizes a changeup, just stay right through it. And you sacrifice a bat for a knock. That's just pretty right there.
Ryan Zimmerman is now 4 for 9 in this series, and he's been on base 5 times. Anytime you get Michael Morse up to the plate with somebody on base, you've put the other team in danger. Getting severely jammed, he hit a ball halfway onto the warning track with 2 runners aboard, first time up.
And the one trap that Michael Morse can't fall into here the last 4 games of the season is being overwhelmed and consumed with that 30 home run mark. You know, easy for us to say up here, he wants to get to 30, but you know, if you start thinking about it, then all of a sudden you start trying for it, maybe overswinging a little bit. Just get your base hits and it'll take care of itself.
Up the middle, there's a base hit.
Like that.
And of course, that 300 mark at stake as well. That helps. Michael came in at 302. And another 2-out, 2-on situation for Marrero.
Supposed to be down the way. It was right down the middle, and Michael Morse did that yesterday. Hit a ground ball to shortstop that I thought if he got elevated would have been all the way on the concourse. You see Michael Morse not afraid of the eye black on the shoulders, not afraid of the eye black all over his jersey.
Looks like he just came from a cookout.
His shoulder won't lose a ball in the sun today, I can guarantee you that.
Here's Marrero. First time up, Chris got ahead. And then on a 2-1 pitch, flied out to center, stranding Desmond and Zimmerman, first inning. Big spot for the rookie here. This is September. Rookies can have influences on pennant races. Healthy cut. 1 ball, 1 strike. Since the departure of Jeff Francoeur a couple of years ago, the Braves don't feature the outfield arms they used to have. And Francoeur and Andrew Jones used to be out there. In the air by Marrero again. This will be PRADO under it. And the Nats have now stranded 5 base runners in 3 innings. Quite a battle so far. Mike Minor in and out of trouble, and Ross Detwiler the same in a very concerning but successful eventually 3rd inning.
And how about Ross Detwiler getting out of that jam? David Ross with a single, Jack Wilson with a walk, Mike Minor with the walk. So bases loaded, nobody out. Not a big deal. I'll just get Michael Bourn to pop up and then get Martin PRADO to fly out short to right because I know that Johnny Gomez got a cannon. Then future Hall of Famer, I'll get him to roll over to third to my Gold Glove third baseman and get out of the jam. So a hero's welcome in the dugout after Ross Detwiler doing some big boy stuff. Bases loaded, nobody out, gets out of the jam.
It'll face UGGLA, Freeman, and DIAZ, top of the 4th inning. It's only given up 1 hit. Dan UGGLA takes a fastball right in there.
Back in the windup, back in the strike zone.
Good looking changeup, 83. He's got a 10 to 11 mile differential going between that fastball and the straight change. Target in. Freddie Freeman flied to left his first time.
After throwing that fastball in, Detwiler struck out UGGLA with a curveball first time up. Let's see if he goes back to it.
He got UGGLA in the dirt first time. That one bounces. And the count's 1-2. So many different things you can do 0-2. That ball lashed foul. Tim Cheetah, no problem calling that one right by him. He's standing in foul ground.
And I think that one was supposed to be bounced too. Watch where this curveball is. It was up and UGGLA was all over it. So the one before that in the dirt, Detwiler trying to compensate and throwing the next one a little bit higher, and he left it right out over the plate, and he got away with one.
UGGLA pops it up right near the tarp, and just no way for Marrero to reach it unless he had climbed onto the tarp. Tries to paint with a fastball and just misses. He pulls it. Ryan Zimmerman with a simple looking pick. Not as easy as he makes it look. And that's the first out here in the fourth. Buy two, get two. How about some season tickets for next year? Go to nationals.com/2012 to check it out. Some restrictions do apply. Select locations in the ballpark and a minimum of 2 tickets to be purchased. St. Louis just had 2 runners aboard with 1 out, bottom of the second. Yadier Molina hit into a double play. So that ball game's into the top of the third, scoreless with Chicago. Freddie Freeman flied to left first time up. Fastball lashed into left field. Freddie Freeman now 4 hits in the series, including a homer, couple of RBIs. He's 4 for 10.
And that was a pretty swing.
Well, they bumped him up to the 5 hole today against the left-hander Detwiler. Brian McCann, a lefty, batted in that spot first 2 games of the series. He's taking a day off. And there's Matt Diaz, struck out swinging first time up.
Back in the stretch. Let's see if he makes the adjustments. Got out of the jam in the stretch when I thought he was going to go to the windup with the bases loaded, so maybe a little more confidence.
Two and 0. Very muggy day here, 75 degrees at game time, but humidity in the low 80s. No score. Nats have out-hit Atlanta 4-2. 1 on, 1 out. And a double play ball. Espinosa gets behind it. Desmond turns it. 4-6-3. Top of the fourth is over. That'll help Detwiler's pitch count. The Nationals turn their 142nd of the year. or George Aben, Teddy. Where's Tom? He took off to the other side, and evidently this political race is leaning to the left. That's the official side where they break the tape. We're going to find out who that Cougar is and get that guy out of this ballpark. George and Abe taken out, then he took down Teddy.
That race was a lot like David Letterman's top 10 list. Number 2 is always better than number 1, and yesterday was way better than that.
Ending the season on what you would call a no note.
It's not good.
Not nearly the excitement we expected. Espinosa to deep short for Wilson. Out on a close play. Bottom of the 4th underway. And that ball got by Chipper Jones. It became a foot race.
And Danny Espinosa hustling down the line. I'll tell you what, as a switch hitter, I used to get out of the box better right-handed than I did left-handed. And I think you can say the same for Danny Espinosa, because when you swing left-handed, your first step kind of goes toward third base, and then you get out of the box. But when you swing right-handed, your weight comes around, your right foot's going to first base. And Danny Espinosa with a good jump out of the box right there. Just a quick throw by Wilson beat him.
Yeah, when you look at the batter's box, batting from either side of the plate, it's about a full step difference when you're in full stride. So the right-handers can make up that distance, huh?
Well, a lot of times your weight's going toward first base just because of your backswing. So your right foot and the weight is going there. And then left-handed, when you swing, you have like a jab step with your left foot that goes toward the third baseman, and then you take off. So if you just roll over a ground ball to shortstop, your weight's going to first, and you can get out of the box quicker.
1 ball, 1 strike to Johnny Gomes, who hit a double down the left field line first time. Out of play, right side. Bottom of the 4th inning here, no score. They're in the top of the 3rd. In fact, the Cubs just went out in the top of the 3rd. No score in St. Louis. Edwin Jackson and Randy Wells matching up well there. Gomes will take it outside, 2-2. And the Red Sox, by the way, 5th inning at New York, trailing 5-1. Tampa Bay has opened up a 4-1 4th inning lead at home over Toronto. And if those scores hold up, it's a half-game difference while the Red Sox play the Yankees the second half of their doubleheader later. Can you imagine that? If Tampa Bay would come from pretty far back to tie the Red Sox with 3 to go.
This becomes a big game because the Braves go back home tomorrow to play the Phillies, and guess who's on the mound for the Phillies? Cliff Lee.
Johnny Gomes will strike out. There'll be plenty of drama up the road in Baltimore when the Red Sox show up there. Don't miss out on Nats action and Maximum Access, live in-game discussions, and a chance to win exclusive Masson prizes. Check it out at facebook.com/Masson Nationals, and you can't miss. The Rays will be home, but they're playing the Yankees, while the Red Sox will be at Baltimore. Ramos struck out on a pitch upstairs first time, and this one is out of play right side. Quite a pitching matchup shaping up here. Phillies, by the way, 3rd inning, now lead 5-0 at New York, so they finally got something to smile about. Hunter Pence has hit his 21st home run. Target away. Minor keeps working that outer half. And he's got Ramos 1-2 now with Detwiler on deck, bottom of the 4th. He's like a 92-mile-an-hour Tom Glavine, just living out there right now.
He's got the fastball that he can go in, too, so moving the fastball around nice. Good off speed. This guy's got good stuff. That's a quick 92.
Two-two pitch. Ramos turns on one, and that ball is evidently out of here. It's a home run. A low laser to the flower bed. 1-0 Nationals. Well, they tried to come in.
How did he keep that ball fair? And how did he keep that ball high enough for a home run?
That's called strong, partner.
Yeah, big hands, strong hands. I'm thinking, okay, just stay fair for a double. Detweiler will drive you in. Watch this. Digs out the curveball. Pretty good pitch by Minor. He's got to be shaking his head.
Wow.
Just enough backspin to get out of this place. His 15th home run of the year and his 52nd RBI.
Isn't that something? Nationals on top from the number 8 spot. Where are they going to have to hit this kid next year?
Look at that set. All other National League rookie catchers combined 11 home runs. And Wilson's got 15. Great stat, guys.
That's amazing. 151st for the Nats. 7th given up by Minor in 64 innings this year. Detweiler puts the ball in play over to Dan UGGLA. So the Nats will strike first. And it comes from the number 8 spot with 2 outs and the bases empty. Ramos, this kid is some kind of strong. Our sideline report.
Well, Ryan Zimmerman made a great play behind Ross Detweiler to end the 3rd inning with the bases loaded, and Ross told me he appreciates his Gold Glove third baseman.
He always does. You know, it seems like every night he's going to be on a highlight video, and it just really makes you think that you can just get a ground ball and you know the play's going to be made behind you.
Of course, Ross is just focusing on trying to keep that good tempo against the Braves so his fielders can all stay on their toes. Bob, FP.
Nice job, Debbie. And Bob, but what kind of season do you think Debbie had here at home? I mean, we've been talking about the Nats. They had a great season.
Yeah.
You know, Debbie at home, I think she's been pretty good.
I'd say reliable veteran, very consistent, and not one drop of Gatorade found her this year or any shaving cream.
She's had a way better home record than on
Nice
the road.
going, Debbie.
I try to take it one sound bite at a time, stay within myself, and just focus on the task at hand, guys. You guys have been great working with you, too.
Debbie,
and, of course, everybody in the truck and Kevin Santos down here and the camera well has just been superb.
There's a bunt attempt and a good one by Ross. It's not going to go foul. Base hit. Debbie forgot one thing. 3 games to go. Stay close, everybody.
Yeah, good at home. But on the road, she's been good too.
She's picked up a few cab rides for us. Jack Wilson will be the hitter, so that's 2 for 2 for David Ross in that number 7 hole today. Braves just haven't been able to get anything from their top 4 guys.
I'm surprised more guys don't do that. David Ross, you know, a catcher with a lot of pop. You see the third baseman back. It's a good way to start up an inning. It's a good way to get a free base hit. Get a base runner on. You're down 1-0. I know Ryan Zimmerman did that a lot as a younger player, but when you talk about the difference between hitting 280 and 300, if a team's going to play you back and give you a free hit, why not do it?
You know, David Ross might be the only backup catcher in baseball with his own TV show. It airs a couple of times a week on the scoreboard at Turner Field. He's a very clever guy. He interviews his teammates. It's always a lot of fun to watch. Up the middle. Not reachable for Desmond. And now Ross and Wilson have been on base 4 times in the 7 and 8 spots. Here comes Mike Minor, who will be trying to bunt again. 3 o'clock, just a little bit beyond here at Nationals Park. Final Sunday of the season, September 25. Bob Carpenter, FP Santangelo, Debbie Taylor, thankful to all you, our wonderful Masson viewers and Nats fans, for hanging with us all season long. It's been some ups and some downs and some exhilarating moments, and things just keep getting better and better around here. That's a bunt attempt and a foul tip. I don't think Ross Detwiler is going to walk this guy again. Gave him a major headache 2 innings ago, but he had the ability to get out of that bases loaded, nobody out jam.
And just 1 hit in spots 1 through 6 for the Braves today, but 7, 8, and 9 have been giving Ross some trouble.
It's a good bunt. Zimmerman only has 1 play, and that's to Espinosa. 5-4 on the sacrifice.
A pretty good bunt right here by Mike Minor. You're getting the job done. You got the bat out in front, knees bent. Just catch the baseball with the bat, and that's exactly what he did. He'll get some high fives in the dugout.
Well, the Braves know they blew 1 chance. They can't let another one get away. So they've got the top of the order up now. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. The Nats will play the corner infielders even with the bags. Desmond is halfway. Espinosa mostly back at second base. And I'm sure Detwiler would like Michael Bourn to hit the ball in the air again, like he did last time, for a foul out to Morse. Because again, there's a catcher running at third base, and the outfield arms are good.
I think what the Nats have the luxury of that a lot of teams don't in the National League is they can play their middle infielders back in this situation because of their arm strength.
Right at Espinosa. That's a line drive out. 2 down.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of teams have to bring their infielders to where their toes are on the edge of the grass. That's usually the rule of thumb. But with Ian Desmond's arm strength and Danny Espinosa's arm strength and maybe the speed of the runner at third base, it allows Davey Johnson to be a little more loose with his infield end. Michael Bourn hits this ball right on the screws, and if Danny Espinosa's on the grass, that's by him. It's a base hit and 2 RBIs. But because these guys have strong arms, you play them a little bit deeper, so kind of a modified infield end, and they can still cut the runner down at home on a ground ball.
Detwiler to Prado. First base is open, but Chipper Jones awaits. Prado lined out hard to center, flied out to right last time. And in this series, he's 1 for 11. He goes up hacking. In the air, right field, Jason Worth and Johnny Gomes. It'll be Gomes and Ross Detwiler, as Johnny launches a throw to the umpire at third base, is out of the inning. That's okay, everybody. There are 3 outs indeed. Reliable wireless network. And by Hyundai, if it's fuel efficient, affordable, stylish, and safe, it's probably a Hyundai. You know, if Tim Cheetah had tried to score on that play, he was a dead duck. 1-0 Nationals over the Braves after 4.5.
Well, that's the second time today Johnny Gomes has forgot how many outs there are. He was on second base after a double, and Ross Detwiler lined out, and he was scrambling back toward the base. And then this one right here, the third out from our team, PRADO, and he said, I'm going to throw somebody out. I don't know who, but I just want to throw the ball real hard and then jog back into the dugout. So Johnny Gomes either needs a pitch counter or an out counter, but that's twice today. He's forgotten how many outs there are.
I bet you Ross Detwiler just momentarily went into a little bit of panic, thinking, I thought I had 3 outs. He did. And here we go, bottom of the 5th, top of the order. Ian Desmond leads off. Second time today, first pitch swinging. That'll be easy for UGGLA.
I mean, you usually don't see that at the major league level very often. You'll see it at the minor league level because there's usually just one scoreboard. But at the major league level, I mean, you can't really look around without seeing how many outs there are. There's about 20 scoreboards in every ballpark, and they all have the outs to count to the hitter, so that's why it doesn't happen very often at this level, but maybe just getting loose for something to come here in this ball game.
Jason Worth 0 for 2, pair of swinging strikeouts. Top of the 4th inning at St. Louis. The Cubs have runners at second and third with 1 out. Braves hoping for a little help because they're not getting much help from the Nats these days. Marlon Byrd, the former Nat, is the batter for the Cubs right now. Keep you posted.
You know what, though, partner? If you're relying on other teams for help this time of year, you don't belong in the playoffs. You got to seal the deal yourself.
Yeah, the Braves have played themselves into this position. I mean, they had the wild card thing in their hip pocket 2 weeks ago.
And I still think they're going to be the wild card team.
Well, that would take a total collapse. But, you know, they're going home to play the Phillies. St. Louis is going to Houston.
Cliff Lee on the mound tomorrow for the Phillies, too.
You know, the Phillies will be in tune-up mode. Bat shatters, and Worth is going to drop a base hit into right center. He's aboard with 1 out. Catch all the action of the 2011 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. It all begins next Friday night, September 30th, the Division Series on TBS. Right now, the wild card in the National League would go to Milwaukee and play the Brewers, while Arizona would have to go to Philadelphia. If St. Louis turned out to be the wild card, they couldn't go to Milwaukee. Same division. They would end up going to Philly. So 1 on 1 out. Zimmerman coming in, and Ryan's had 2 really good at-bats today.
Roger McDowell's telling his pitcher right here is, hey, Jason Worth is 3 stolen bases away from 20.
And FP thinks he's going to make it, so we better keep him close.
And he told me he's trying to get to 20. So let's keep him close right here. I think it's just a stall piece to get to the bullpen. We'll see what happens. But look for Jason Worth to be running somewhere in this sequence.
Zimmerman has walked and way behind in the count, single to right. Giovanni Soto has hit a sacrifice fly to score Carlos Pena, and Chicago goes up 1-0 in that game in St. Louis. Nats lead 1-0 here. Bottom 5. Zimmerman still looking for that 50th RBI. And he's 2 away from a milestone. We'll tell you about it if and when he gets there, which hopefully will be today or tomorrow.
Or one swing right here.
Yeah. (17 of 20), brilliant percentage for Worth. The Nats have stolen 101 this year, been caught 37 times. And Zimmerman takes a fastball right in there. Cubs settled for 1 run in that 4th inning at St. Louis. Zimmerman saw something in her half and he was pumping.
Marty Foster just wore one right off his chest protector. Watch this. Oh, collarbone.
It's for reasons like that that the American League umpires used to go with that big balloon outer protector, that big old thing they used to put in front of the entire upper half of their body. That's why the American League used to be considered more of a high ball league. It was tougher to call the low strike with that thing, but it was like having a big mattress from the pool in front of you. Now they all go with the inside protectors, and they're not as thick as those things used to be.
If I was an umpire, I'd just prop up a big king-size mattress and poke 2 holes in it so I could see through it.
1-2. Zimmerman, bouncer right side. UGGLA. And the Nats will strand. Well, inning still to go, pardon me. It'll be Morse coming up next. As Worth goes to second base with 2 outs here in the 5th.
Here's the first pitch. Change up away. Second pitch. Fastball right down the middle. Third pitch. Fouled straight back. Marty Foster wearing one. And then just a tapper to second base.
Pitch Track brought to you by Kinetic North America, providing world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers. Braves will be careful with Michael Morse here. First base open, runner scoring position. Solid single up the middle last time. And as I mentioned earlier, Michael's in the top 9 in the league, hitting .318 with runners in scoring position.
See, 89 RBIs. 90 sounds a lot better than 89. And 90's standing on second base in the form of Jason Worth.
Here comes hopping way off that bag. And Morse will take a strike. Counts even 1-1. Good take by Michael on a pitch away. And by the way, Minor here in the 5th inning is in the mid-80s on his pitch count. Ross Detwiler's at 78. Rookie Chris Marrero waiting. Nats looking to add to this 1-0 lead. Good ID on the breaking ball. That thing had some action to it.
It did.
It was 91, huh?
Like a cut fastball almost right there, and they're going to put Morse on.
Yeah. All right, they'll take their chances with Marrero. And Chris Marrero will bat with 2 men aboard for the 3rd time today.
I'll tell you what, as a hitter right there, you work hard to get to a 3-1 count. You're thinking, okay, you know, I did some good takes right here. I battled, I got count leverage, and then they put the arm out to walk you. And Michael Morse right now is frustrated. I don't blame him.
And Freddie Gonzalez is on his way to the mound. Minor may not be pitching. It looks like Martinez will be pitching to Marrero. Mike Minor didn't have by any means a bad ball game today. He just had some really long innings, and Ramos got him for a home run. This call to the bullpen, packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. Christian Martinez, Chris Marrero coming up. Get more than a 1-0 score here. For the latest news on Georgetown men's basketball, including ticket information, visit GUHoyas.com, and during the season, follow the Hoyas on MASN, the official regional sports network of Georgetown basketball. Christian Martinez, 44th ball game. Pitches a lot of middle relief these days for the Braves. 56 strikeouts in 74 innings.
And Chris Marrero will see a fastball slider change. Fastball 89. Change 83, slider 81.
Well, Chris has flied out twice today, stranding 4 runners. Maybe this is his time. Funny how as soon as they put you in the number 5 spot, all kind of RBI opportunities start rolling around for you. Chris has been batting 7th a lot, been producing in this series, 2 for 8 with an RBI. He's already had 96 at bats at the major league level. So it's Worth at second, Morris at first. Good breaking ball from Martinez. St. Louis did not score in the bottom of the 4th. Cubs lead 1-0 in the 5th inning there. Nats lead 1-0 5th inning here. Marrero had a pitch up and he was pumping.
Yeah, that hack usually buys you a slider or a changeup next time. He's all over that fastball.
Wow, pulls a string on him, diving down under the bat of Marrero. So the Nats have now stranded 7. 1-run lead into the 6th. Nats, Ross Detwiler pitching another fine ball game. Nats have Mike Minor out. They're into the Atlanta bullpen. And let's have a look at the Braves box. The bottom of the box is the dangerous place. David Ross 2 for 2. Jack Wilson walk, base hit. Mike Minor a walk and a sacrifice. Freddie Freeman has the only hit, as FP mentioned earlier, among the first 6 spots in the Braves order today. Detwiler back to work against Chipper Jones, Dan UGGLA, and Freddie Freeman, top of the 6th. Fastball delivered perfectly outside corner. Chipper is lined to right and bounced to third. And the 0-2 is a pretty good fastball away, showing him that heater just outside. Chipper Jones will follow it over the dugout. Ross Detwiler, 6th career appearance against the Braves, 3rd start. He will always remember the Atlanta Braves because in September of 07, just a couple of months after he'd been drafted, the Nats called him up and he got 1 inning of relief in a game at Turner Field. And he had a strikeout in a 1-2-3 inning. Took him 2 years after that to get back to the big leagues. Desmond on the run, and a great play by Marrero, tagging Chipper on the hip on a throw that was sailing. Well done by the rookie.
A nice play by Marrero on the back end, but I think the key to this is Ian Desmond getting rid of the ball quick. If he takes his time right here and misses, Chipper Jones safe, but he got rid of it a click early. And that allowed Chris Marrero to come down after some nice extension right there to put the tag on Chipper Jones as he runs by. I'm pointing to Chris. Way to pick me up, bro.
Yeah. Here's UGGLA. 0 for 2 today. And late for a fastball, 92.
Now this is where, if you're Ross Detwiler in this game, you're in the 6th inning. You've been pitching great. You've gotten out of a couple of tough jams. Everything away to Dan UGGLA. Don't even challenge him on the inner half. Make him beat you to the big ballpark in a 1-run baseball game. Or go in.
Phew, Ramos setting up inside. We had 2 nervous announcers when we saw that setup.
Make him beat you over that scoreboard in right center if he's going to beat you. I wouldn't let him beat me to the pull side at all in this situation.
Gets upstairs, 3-1. Freddie Freeman right in front of our third base camera. That's a good one away, and the count's 3-2. Ross Detwiler making a strong late season bid for the 2012 rotation. Off to Florida. Only 3 games left. Tommy Malone, Anibal Sanchez tomorrow night. John Lennon, Javier Vasquez Tuesday. He's pitching great, Vasquez. And then Steven Strasburg, 4 o'clock game Wednesday against Chris Volstad. After that, we all go home and stare at our baseball cards for a couple of months. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. Detwiler goes upstairs for his 4th K of the day. UGGLA for the 2nd time.
And it was on a changeup, and Dan UGGLA was out in front. A 3-2 changeup up in the zone. You see the grip right there? The circle change gets UGGLA swinging. So he saw a fastball. He tried to hold up there at the end, but it was too late.
Freddie Freeman now 1 for 2. In the air to left. Underneath it, Michael Morse. Ross Detwiler, 6 more outstanding innings. Hasn't given up a run in his last 2 starts. This Nationals pitching this year has truly been impressive. Top 6, top 7 in the league in team ERA most of the season. And it's so much fun to see Malone, Peacock, Detwiler, all these young guys. Strasburg is back battling for significant positions on this staff next year.
I'll tell you what, the last 3 starts, Ross Detwiler's made a huge statement toward next year. He's been amazing. He got us some jams today. You talk about what he's doing on the mound. And I think it's a combination of good stuff in a Braves team right now that's pressing a little bit, trying to get to the finish line as the wild card.
And then you have the bullpen to back these guys up. And we talked about this Friday and yesterday. The key to beating this ball club, have the lead after 6 innings, because then O'Flaherty, Venters, and Kimbrell, for the most part, stay in that bullpen.
And I think the key to beating a lot of ball clubs is that when you have Tyler Clippard and Drew Storer in your bullpen, you want to have a lead late, defend it like Davey Johnson always says. But I'm sure Davey and the Nationals would like a few insurance runs starting right now.
With Danny Espinosa leading off, bottom 6. Espinosa drills this ball to center. That's got some carry. It'll one-hop the wall at the 4:02 mark. And the Nats have a leadoff double. 4th extra base hit today.
3rd double of the game for the Nats. 2nd leadoff double. His double play partner Ian Desmond had one in the 1st inning. And how about that? 29th double of the season. Danny Espinosa approaching 30 doubles his rookie year to go along with 21 home runs. And like I always say against speedy center fielders, anytime you can beat a guy like Michael Bourn deep, you know he hit the ball well.
Johnny Gomes has doubled. Looks like the Nats, though, are going to pinch hit for him. Maybe Roger Bernardina, maybe Rick Ankiel, or the big bopper Lance Nix. As we look at the box score, up and down the lineup, great hitting today by Washington. Chris Marrero's the one frustrated guy. He's left 6 men on base. He'll get another shot. And here's Lance to bat for Johnny Gomes.
Lance Nix walked right by the on-deck circle, didn't grab pine tar, didn't grab a donut. You know what that tells me? He was down the cage hitting.
So he's hot.
Yep. And it took a while for Davey Johnson to find him. I guarantee he was banging the tee down there in the cage.
Lance Nix looks at that one in there. Henry Rodriguez. Detwiler's hitting spot is 4th in this inning. We did see some handshakes in the dugout. So Ross could be done after 92 pitches. Off speed outside, 1-1.
Another good changeup by Martinez. And now, if you're Lance Nix, you got to spread out and do whatever you can to fight to hit a ball to the right side and move Danny Espinosa with nobody out.
Lance Nix will pop it up left side. Out goes Wilson. 1 out. Ramos coming up, and we'll see if they even think about pitching to him. And it appears Ankiel stepping to the on-deck circle. Ramos a drive of the game last time.
Our 4th drive of the game, his 15th home run, his 52nd RBI. They got a pretty good curveball by Mike Minor, kept it fair and had the distance. It's a strong man to hit that pitch out of the ballpark.
Ramos pulls this one over to Chipper Jones. 2 outs. By the way, in St. Louis, pitcher Edwin Jackson just hit a sacrifice fly with the bases loaded, and that's a 1-1 game. But not a whole lot going right for the Braves right now. And we'll see if Rick Ankiel can maybe double the Nats lead here as he hits for Detwiler. Ross Detwiler, 6 innings, 4 hits, shutout baseball, 4 strikeouts. He did walk a couple, but he pitched around that in the 3rd inning. Ankiel is a pinch hitter this year, 3 for 10 with a homer, 2 RBIs.
Boy, Christian Martinez has got some kind of changeup. Wow.
Yeah, remember that one he threw to the right-hander, MARRERO. Oh, 2 to Rick. That gets away. Third base, Espinosa.
The best part about that, it might take his changeup away. He threw that one in the dirt right there. Now runner on third base, just 90 feet away. And a lot of times as a hitter, that's what you think. Okay, he threw a changeup in the dirt. He doesn't want to do that again, so I'm going to switch and go back to fastball. But Martinez has a good fastball too. You either trust your catcher a whole lot or you throw a fastball, one or the other. And to me, that was just a show-me fastball. That's a fastball to get back to the changeup. That was one that he wasn't real concerned about throwing in the strike zone. There's the changeup sign from Ross.
2-2, and Ankiel pulls it right side. Freddie Freeman to the pitcher, and the Nats are gone in the 6th, and they've now stranded 8 base runners in a 1-0 game. All the offense today with that 4th inning laser. Mike Minor not able to get through 5, but he kept it close, and Ross Detwiler 6 shutout innings.
Not quite as efficient as he was last time out against the Mets, but got the job done anyways, and got out of a jam in the 3rd inning, got out of a jam in the 5th inning. So good fastball change curve combination once again from Detwiler, and he did not disappoint his fans back home. Pretty good outing again from the young left-hander.
Yeah, strong bid for next year. Ross's last couple of outings. Gave up no runs at Philadelphia, 7 1/3. So he'll finish with a flourish with 13 1/3 scoreless innings his last 2 starts. Rick Ankiel batting 9th, stays into play center. That'll move JAYSON WERTH to right field. So the Nats pitcher is batting 7th. And that's Henry Rodriguez. Bullpen set up. If Rodriguez can get things done here in the 7th.
Ross Detwiler's last 3 starts, he's allowed just 10 hits in 19 innings. He struck out 9. His ERA is 0.95. How about that?
That's a September to remember. Rodriguez with a fastball in there. Henry at 99. He took a little bit off. Jason Hayward batting for Matt Diaz here. Time for Freddie Gonzalez to pull out his stops with a right-hander on the mound. How about that? 0-2 in a hurry.
We'll see if my theory holds up right here. I feel like Henry Rodriguez got that save in Philadelphia. He got out of his comfort zone into a save opportunity. Then when you go back to, say, the 7th inning in a close ball game, it's not a big a deal. You know, you've been in save opportunity. Now you go back to the 7th and you throw strikes.
There's that crazy breaking ball that he'll bounce. Catcher David Ross and then shortstop Jack Wilson for the Braves. Top 7. Swing and a miss on a 100-mile-an-hour sizzler away.
How about if you're Jason Hayward, kinetic on the pitch track, you sit around all day, you come up, and then you get 100 miles an hour painted on the black. Just a perfect pitch by Henry Rodriguez. Thanks for coming. And look how late Hayward was, as we've seen a lot of guys late on triple digits.
And that pinch hitting appearance did not last long. Next up will be David Ross. He has singled to left and he has bunted safely down the third base line.
He could bunt a home run off 100.
Do you think Rick Ankiel thinks he's going to get around early? He is 3 cuts of the grass over toward right center as Eric O'Flaherty gets ready for Atlanta. This might be a situation where the Braves, even though they're behind, they'll use their best relievers to try to keep it a 1-0 game.
I mean, there's no need for any other pitch right now. I mean, we talk about how good his changeup is. We talk about how good his curveball is. But when you're going triple digits in the strike zone, don't mess around with anything else. You got your release point. Just keep throwing the heater. If they beat you, they beat you. Good old-fashioned country hardball right here. Here it is. Hit it if you can.
He's out. He tried to bunt with 2 strikes. A catcher trying to bunt for a hit on a 2-strike count. 2 down.
You know what he's telling everybody in the ballpark?
I can't hit him.
I can't catch up to 100. But that's just a weird deal. I mean, you're seeing the Braves right now pressing in a pennant race, doing some weird stuff.
You put that together with the base running play of Michael Bourn yesterday, that's not the way the Braves play baseball.
No. Well, you know, Bourn is their leadoff guy, and that wasn't a smart play. But, you know, you got a catcher with 6 home runs on the year. You're down by 1. It worked one time, but you didn't have any strikes on you. Now you square around with 2 strikes. And I'm sure he's wondering why he did it too. I'm sure Wilson Ramos knows it. Henry knows it. Just put down 1.
Until somebody does something with it.
There's no need to try to trick anybody right now. You're throwing it for a strike. It's overpowering. Go with it.
That's on the inside corner.
Keep throwing it. Check out the location of this one. I'm going to set up in. Bam, hit my spot. 24 years old.
This crowd is loving this. And then he buckles him with the breaking ball.
Wow, that's one of the most impressive innings I've seen from a reliever all season long.
That might be the inning of Henry Rodriguez's career.
Unbelievable. And decides to end it with a curveball, and Jack Wilson wanted nothing to do with it. And Henry Rodriguez, justifiably so, standing ovation right now by the crowd on hand.
They can hear the cheers over in the Navy Yard. Hayward strikes out swinging. Ross bunting. Wilson taking. 7th inning stretch time. 1-0. Your Nationals. Ford dealers. Ballpark is alive on the last home date of the regular season. Henry Rodriguez electrifying everybody. And we get it going for the final time. Final series starting tomorrow night. Tommy Milone with a 3.32 ERA. He'll make his 5th start as a big leaguer. He's 1-0. He'll take on the Marlins. Anibal Sanchez, 8-9. But the Nationals have never been able to beat him. 7-0, 199 against Washington. 6:30 Nats Extra. We join you from the booth in Florida at 7 o'clock. And then first pitch at 7:05. So we are stretching and singing for the last time at home this year. And the Nats trying to finish this home schedule with their 44th win, a record since coming to D.C.
Not very often that an inning by a pitcher lights up a ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
What we just saw doesn't happen.
I'd say Henry Rodriguez has arrived as a major league pitcher.
Usually it's a 3-run homer. Usually it's, a big rally by the offense, or maybe a Strasburg start where he's striking out a lot of guys. But for a guy to come in for one inning and do what he just did and light up this ballpark doesn't happen every day.
So here we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Nats will have the top of the order up with Ian Desmond. Henry's a very quiet guy around the clubhouse, the bus, the plane, the hotel. But that little wink of the eyebrows there, that's about as much as he'll show. He's got to be feeling pretty good right now.
Quiet in the clubhouse, loud on the mound.
Yeah, the catcher's mitt sure is. Tyler Clippard gets up for the 8th. Braves will have their pitcher spot due up first.
We talked about at the outset of this series. We talked about it in Philadelphia a lot. When you're a ball club and you're not going to the postseason and you're playing somebody that does, take them home with you. And I think Davey Johnson said it best at the outset of the series. He said the Braves are in for a dogfight, and they've had a dogfight now for 3 days.
Ian Desmond 1 for 3 with a double. Martinez misses outside. Albert Pujols is batting in St. Louis. 1-1, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, nobody on base. Quite a battle there. And the Braves are watching 2 scoreboards right now. Desmond pulls it, and it's foul. Jason Worth to follow, then Ryan Zimmerman here in the Washington 7th. Desmond gets under that one. Out to left center for PRADO. The fielders play way off the line here. Minor league report from PNC. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. PNC for the achiever in you. On the minor league report, the guys who lead in wins at different levels. And, of course, 3 of them are here now. Peacock, Malone, and Stammen. But there's help on the way with Grace at Hagerstown and Denny at Potomac.
I think that guy right there and Tom Malone can win that many games at the big league level next year.
Tremendous poise they've shown. I think that's what's really opened my eyes. Over the years, you see guys who come to the big leagues. First several times out, they're struggling to get 4 innings. That ball's well hit. And it'll be run down by PRADO. Maybe 5 innings, their first 2 or 3 starts. These guys come out, they're going 5, 6, 6 2/3, not looking nervous or intimidated out there at all.
And what they've both done so well is they've gotten out of jams. They've dealt with adversity at the highest level. And last start, Tommy Malone had runners at first and third, 1 out in Philadelphia on the road. And he found out a way to get out of that, a pop-up and a strikeout. And Brad Peacock, we've seen him get out of a bunch of jams this year. And I think when you talk about mound presence, poise, and maturity, it's how these guys deal with adversity. Anybody go out there and deal. But what happens when there's runners all over the place and you're on the road and the crowd is cheering? You start getting out of jams like that. Now we're talking about you're a major leaguer for sure.
Pretty good pitch by Martinez. Hard-breaking ball away. And the count 1-2 to Ryan. Bases empty, 2 outs in the 7th.
And we're going to Florida after the game today for the last 3 games in that ballpark. But partner, I don't know if you saw the luggage outside the clubhouse today, but everybody has everything they own. So I hope we have a very long runway for takeoff today after the game. Because that plane is going to be weighted down like it never has been all season long.
Yeah, Delta can handle it. Zimmerman hooks one down the line. He's going to round the bag here, and he will wisely stop. Ryan Zimmerman 2 for 3 with a walk in the home finale. Jeep X mode. Check it out.
Well, I could watch this swing all winter long. Every time we show it in super duper X-Mo slow motion, you see the leg kick, down early, throw the hips, throw the bat head. Like I always say, nobody keeps their head down on contact in baseball better than Ryan Zimmerman.
When you look at all the moving parts of that body and that swing, it's amazing what he can do.
It's amazing how he can keep it so consistent. A lot of stuff going on, but it's the same every single pitch.
Stop by the Jeep Celebration event at your local Jeep dealer. They sponsor our Exmo. Michael Morse misses one. Michael Morse today 1 for 2. Intentionally walked. He's gained a point on his batting average to .303. Morse in the air to right. How far is this baby going? 3-0 Nationals. Number 29, 91 RBIs.
Have a year, Michael Morse. There's a lot of drop heads on defense. There's a lot of fired up Nationals in that dugout right now.
All of this after 2 outs with the Zimmerman single and the Michael Morse blast.
1 away from 30, and the fans want Michael Morse out of the dugout right now, and I don't blame them.
Chris Marrero coming in. He might have to do it after the first pitch. Here he comes. Michael not real shy about the curtain call either. I like it.
That was awesome. Well deserved.
3-0 Nationals.
Michael Morse, check it out. Home run number 29, and we'll let you watch.
He knew it.
Knew it as soon as he hit it. Looked at his boys in the dugout. A fist pump, a couple of bangs of the helmet around first base. And once again, Michael Morse going beast mode. I'm telling you what, partner, this is one of the hottest teams in baseball right now.
Trying to win their 12th out of the last 15. .3-0 Washington now with Clippard and Storen queued up to get into this game. Oh, 2 to Marrero. They take it outside.
I would imagine there's going to be a few preseason publications next year. We'll have the Nats as high as second in the National League East.
Well, if they win this game, they battle Atlanta 9-9 on the year. They won the season series from the Phillies. That'll be a swing and a miss, but a huge 7th inning for the Nats. Zimmerman gets the hit, Morse gets the blast, and Washington leads 3-0. Ross Detwiler pitching brilliantly. Henry Rodriguez overpowering in his 7th inning.
And how about Henry Rodriguez? He lit this crowd up with one of the better innings you're ever going to see from a reliever all season long. Fastball above 100, strikes out Jason Hayward. David Ross just says uncle with 2 strikes and tries to bunt. And then how about the curveball to Jack Wilson right there to finish it off after a 101-mile-an-hour fastball. And if I had a 101-mile-an-hour fastball in my back pocket, I'd be smiling too.
Wow.
I mean, just good stuff everywhere right now from the Nats.
Roger Bernardino bats 7th, takes over in left. Pitcher batting 4th, and that's Tyler Clippard. Brooks Conrad leads off, pinch hitting in the number 9 spot for the Braves.
If you see the numbers on Tyler Clippard for the year, I think the fight for Tyler lately has been getting that fastball down in the strike zone. Changeup command has been good, but the fastball has been up.
There's 92 in the zone. Counts even 1-1.
I can't think of a back-to-back better moment at the ballpark all year. You talk about saving your best for last. Henry's inning and Michael Morse going deep with a curtain call. This place is still buzzing.
Clippard drops one to the outside corner, 2-2. There's another one. First out in the 8th inning, 81 on the changeup. Nationals pitchers have struck out 5 of the last 6 hitters.
You see the movement on it. Good frame by Wilson Ramos on the backside. You don't stick the landing right there, that ball, and you take it with you with your glove, it can be called a ball. You reach out and get it before it sinks even more. You make it look like a strike, and it was.
Top of the order, Michael Bourn, 0 for 3, and the Nats have kept him under control in this series. 2 for 11. How about 2 for 12 with Bernardino camped? 2 outs. 37,678 here today. One of the biggest crowds of the year. And renew your season tickets for next year. Red carpet rewards, Grand Slam easy payment plan, And the Curly W renewal gift await. Nationals.com/renew. Some restrictions apply while supplies last. And the Nats draw $1.940 million this year. $1,940,478. We'll get to $2 million pretty easily next year, I do believe, and well beyond. Braves are up there hacking PRADO foul ball. Breaking ball. Everything working.
I'm just up here in a half giggle right now after that pitch. He's got a great fastball changeup combination. And he told me that I've been working on the curveball because nobody's looking for it. And we saw right there, Buckle PRADO. Another one.
On the corner, inning over. Nationals bullpen dominating a good hitting ball club right now. Into the bottom of the 8th. Clipper does his job again. You're not surprised, are you? Very fine home season. You can check out everything going on around baseball with MLB.com at @BAT11, the app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry. Follow the Nationals with game day pitch-by-pitch tracking, in-progress box scores and stats, breaking news, searchable video highlights. Visit Nationals.com or text @BAT to 31826. Chris Medlin just reactivated by the Braves yesterday. Been a long road back for him. 31 games last year. Tommy John surgery August 18th of last year by Dr. James Andrews in Birmingham, Alabama.
A fastball curveball change from Medlin.
Danny Espinosa double off the center field wall last time. Danny 1 for 3 and 4 for 9 in the series.
Average up to 240.
Off speed pitch. Medlin with a backhand. Kind of back behind his back, down around the shoes. 1 out.
And not to get too ahead of ourselves as we watch Danny Espinosa right there get robbed of his second hit of the day. That was heading up the middle. But if the Nats can get what they got out of Henry Rodriguez today and have Clippard and Storm behind him, now guess who's playing 6-inning games all next year?
Oh, yeah. By the way, Starling Castro just singled to drive in Marlon Byrd, top of the 7th at St. Louis. Cubs 2, Cardinals 1. But I guess if that's a close game, As long as Carlos Marmol has his uniform on, St. Louis still has a shot. What a nightmare yesterday for the Cubbies.
You and I were talking before we went on the air today. We've never seen a guy with such a good fastball.
Won't throw it.
Throw so many sliders. And you know, we have the stats on him. He throws that slider, speaking of Marmol, 70% of the time, and his fastball 30% of the time, and he throws 94.
Yeah. And you know it moves because he can't throw anything straight. He's got a live arm. Bernardina will strike out looking. 2 outs. Today's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. But you are free to call all of your friends and tell them about the game. It's been fun.
It's been fun for about a month now. This team is playing so well at home, on the road.
Here's Ramos. A lot of Nats lucky fans here at the ballpark will get jerseys off the back of the players today. Game used signed jerseys to be presented on the field after the game.
I want Morse's with all the eye black on it. I'm going to be down there trying to get it.
Ramos pops it up. UGGLA out, BOURN in, and the Nats go quickly in the bottom of the 8th. And here comes Drew Storen. Here comes Chipper, UGGLA, and Freeman as well.
To the 7th inning, Michael Morse getting beast mode right there. 29th home run of the year, opposite field job, and he just missed one his first time up, off the fist to the wall in left field. So Morse, with a little luck, could have had 2 today, but he'll take 1. And how about the curtain call? How about the guy in the front row banging his head? Did you see that? There's a fan right in the front row banging himself in the head, just like Michael Morse does when he hits a home run. And Morgan Franklin, their clients, know that pivotal plays don't just happen in sports. See who's making them in business and government at pivotalplays.com.
In the 6th inning on August 2nd, Michael Morse took Christian Martinez upper deck right field in a 9-3 Nationals win over the Braves. So here we are, arriving in the final inning, we hope, of the 2011 home season. That's on top 3-0. Drew Storen against 3 of the best the Braves have to offer. Chipper Jones leads off. Braves are getting help in St. Louis from the Cubs, who lead 2-1.
And the reason why that Michael Morse home run was pivotal is because it gave Drew Storen a chance to throw first pitch fastballs. 1-run save opportunity. He's got to go to the off speed because guys have been beating him on first pitch a lot this year. But see now with a 3-run push, and he can go ahead and get ahead with the fastball, maybe thinking that some of these guys are taking a strike, trying to get the tie-in run of the plate.
Chipper Jones 0 for 3 today, 2 for 11 with a walk in the series. On the corner, strike 2. Look at the Nats. Last time the Braves had a hit was Jack Wilson in the 5th inning. Not a single base runner since. Chipper takes it a little bit low. Pitcher's mound in the sun. Shadows creeping between home plate and the mound.
What else could go wrong for the Braves at this point?
I guess maybe something about 800 miles to the west of us near an arch. But the Nats have controlled this one today. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outside.
And Braves lose, St. Louis loses. They're fine.
Yeah.
Up 2 with 3 games to play. They're good.
Going home to play the Phillies, though. That's a strike 3 call, and Chipper Jones can only walk away. Verizon on the pitch track.
Backdoor slider from Drew Storm. Starts away, brings it right back. Good frame by Ramos, and nothing that Chipper Jones can do with this pitch.
Verizon.
Perfect pitch.
America's largest and most reliable wireless network. Dan UGGLA next. He has struck out twice today, 0 for 3. Nothing but strikes from Drew Storm, seeking his 42nd save.
And it's obvious right now that the Atlanta Braves are taking a strike.
UGGLA pops it up. This will be close. MARRERO just a little short.
Pretty good effort, though, by Chris MARRERO. We got to get over and find the tarp. See him feeling for it. There it is. Just missed it.
Oh-2 pitch. Killer slider, and he just missed inside with it. Fastball. Zimmerman. Oh my. Can he finish? Look at that. Look at that. 2 outs.
We've seen him make a bunch of plays this year. That's the best one he's made all year. Watch the in-between hop going to his left. Throws the glove out. And look at the spin move. Not even knowing where his target is. Just getting rid of the baseball. That's Gold Glove stuff. And we've seen it from Ryan Zimmerman all season long. And the crowd is on their feet. And how about this, partner? Is this any good?
Man, who looks like the playoff team today?
You've seen a lot of tough seasons here. And I think things are about to change.
Here's Freddie Freeman. I'm not so sure they haven't already. Fastball, yes. Nats 1 out away from win number 78. On appeal, no swing, says Tim Cheetah.
I'll second that.
Pass ball up. Well, this crowd knows any pitch could be the last one they see at home this year, and to be honest, they don't seem very upset about it. They're enjoying every moment of this. Slider just a bit higher. Ground ball right side. Danny Espinosa. Did you folks have fun for the home games this year? The Nationals finish 44-36 at home. And they beat the Atlanta Braves 3-0 on only 4 hits. We have a lot more coming your way from Nationals Park, so don't go wandering off just yet. A wonderful afternoon for Michael Morse, Drew Storen, and their teammates. Nationals win it 3-0.